What's going on, guys? This is a little Gamecast today about Justice League. Finally getting around to the complete spoiler review. So from here on out, it is complete spoilers. And today I am joined by the one, the only WOTWW. Say what's up, man.
What's up, you guys? I'm only the little lone producer over here, but joined and glad that I'm here with the general on his channel.
So we team up together to bring you these awesome videos. So let's dive right into Justice League. Dude, I am probably one of the biggest DC fans you can meet. This movie was a dream come true for me because I've been waiting since I was little, dude. Growing up watching Justice League on TV and Justice League Unlimited, my dream was to see that in a movie one day, in real life, and we finally got to see it this year. What'd you think about it, man?
It wasn't a bad film. Wasn't the best, but I mean, it was really good. Like it had its ups and downs, but it wasn't like it was. You can notice every little bad detail. Like it had that DC style to it. It did what it needed to be a success.
I completely 100% agree with you. There was a lot of problems with this movie. It wasn't a perfect movie. It wasn't the best movie of the year. Probably wasn't the best DC movie. But to me, it's one of my favorite movies ever. So, on just your initial, my initial reaction to it after I saw it was, this movie was great. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, very loosely, it would probably be, I thought about this a lot, it would probably be a 7. And that's coming from me, like a hardcore DC fan. So coming out of the theater, what'd you think about it?
I was impressed, but like I was a little disappointed, but I did eventually come to realize that I had too high of an expectation going into that theater. I shouldn't have put my expectations that high.
That was my problem too, man. I shouldn't have. I went in that movie thinking it was gonna be the best movie ever. I thought it was a lot better before I heard about Joss Whedon coming in and messing up stuff, because I'm not a Joss Whedon fan, and when I heard he was directing some of the scenes, went from here to here. So yeah, but my expectations were up here when they should have been way down here. So I'm on the same boat as you, man.
I mean, I don't mind Joss Whedon. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he did. I kind of like his spin on things, even though he tried to take it away from the DC feeling a few times and give it a little Marvel feeling, which I didn't like that much, just due to the fact that you could tell, Whedon was there. He's
Yeah, you could definitely you could notice like any comic book fan, any Zack Snyder fan, anybody who's watched the DC movies like Batman v Superman can tell the difference, you know. So right off the bat, my favorite part of the movie, I've thought about this a lot. There's so many good parts. My favorite part of the movie was Superman's resurrection when he came back, dude. That was one of the best scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but I love DC, and this was like a DC dream come true, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I like how Superman was Superman in this film. Like, a lot of people were like, okay, he was way too overpowered, but you gotta think, he's Superman. Like, how are they gonna not make him overpowered?
Yeah.
As well as the fact that, I mean, They had a good bit of Superman in there for the lack of him being in the trailers much. Like, they didn't focus on him at all. The only places you saw him was the promotion posters, and that was it. So, I mean, there's always room for improvement, but
yeah, they did a good job at hiding that he was even really a big part of the movie. Obviously, you knew he was going to come back, but they did a good job at hiding that, especially in the promotion and stuff.
definitely.
So I'm looking here at some other things that I really enjoyed about the movie. Starting the movie, well, not starting the movie off, but really the first scene that Zack Snyder shot, or at least the first scene that wasn't that bad that Joss Whedon shot, was part of the opening Batman scene whenever he was on the rooftops, and he was at first, he was chasing the bad guy, like normal. Um, but then you found out that he was just trying to put fear into him to attract the parademon. You know what I mean? So that I really, really enjoyed that scene. I don't know. There's some good stuff about it. What's some other stuff, man? Like the
Well, one of my
Steppenwolf scenes, dude. Yo,
I didn't like Steppenwolf too much. Like,
he wasn't a good villain, but his scenes were like epic, bro.
yeah, it was very well done. He was a horrible villain. Like, I didn't understand his motivation. It made no sense whatsoever. Like,
okay, I'm gonna address this right now. You might be able to clear this up for me. Giant plot hole in the movie. Like giant plot hole. There were 3 mother boxes, right?
yes,
3 mother boxes. When Steppenwolf, arguably the best scene in the movie, Steppenwolf came back and fought the Amazonians, the humans, and the Atlanteans, and there was a Green Lantern in there, which I died when I saw Green Lantern, dude. Um, he came for 3 mother boxes, right? Well, whenever he came back to face the Justice League, he was searching for the mother boxes. He went to Themyscira, basically killed all of them, took the mother box. That was an awesome chase scene too. Went to Atlantis, fought Arthur Curry a little bit, Mara, which she was awesome. Took that mother box, and then he went to look for the third one or something, or he didn't go look for it. But if you remember in Batman v Superman, when you saw the video, the mother box fused with Cyborg, right?
yes.
So was he trying to capture Cyborg, or was he trying to look for the third mother box? Like, they didn't explain that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't understand that as either at all.
Like, they just, you know what I mean? They just didn't explain it. I don't know.
I enjoy how they did Flash. He was done really well. I mean, obviously he wasn't perfect, but they have him as like he's not a superhero yet. He's just like stopping thieves from stealing milk and stuff. That's like what he's doing right now.
Did they call him Flash in the movie? Did they say that?
I don't believe so. They didn't call him Flash at all. I don't think.
Which I'm fine with. I was just wondering. I don't think they called him Flash. They might have. I might have missed it. But he
They
wasn't
said Barry like every time.
yeah. He wasn't a superhero yet, which was awesome. He was just learning. Like, he didn't even know how to fight. He just how to push people and run away, which I thought was awesome.
Do battle.
I just what was his line? What was his line? I don't know how to do battle. I just push people and run away. Like, that was cool. What'd you think about when Batman said, when he was like, "Oh, what's your superpower again?" "I'm rich." What'd you think about that line?
I mean, it was in the trailers, but it was like classic Batman. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you notice the
It's,
classic Batman theme? They played the 1989 Batman theme in the
you
movie.
talking about the dun 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 that one?
I'm not sure, but they played it, and it was whenever I heard it, I was like, "That dude, that's the Batman theme," and I started like flipping out in my seat. And they also played the original Superman theme, I believe, from the Christopher Reeve movies.
See, I didn't notice that. I never watched the old Supermans.
I actually didn't notice it until I saw it afterwards on YouTube, but I thought that was pretty cool too, you know. So I'm trying to get a subscriber in here to in a call with us to talk about the movie. So I'll see how that goes. But Flash was awesome. Um, Aquaman was cool. Probably my favorite scene with him was when he was leaning on the Batmobile, and uh, what was the lasso of truth, whatever, was around his ankle or something like that, and it was compelling him to tell the truth, and he was like, "We're all gonna die." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And he's like, what did he do? He's like, we're a team. It's something about how he liked them and all the other kind of stuff.
Yeah. I like that. I like that it was funny. I just think some of it could have been left out. Like one of the parts that definitely could have been left out was the very first scene with the little kids recording Superman. Like what was that? You should have just left that out completely, and it would have made the movie better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The
what was
whole
the point of that?
The whole going back to the spaceship or whatever, I didn't really enjoy that. I kind of think they should leave that behind. They need to stop with the whole General Zod ship.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. Like, how else would they bring Superman like back to life? I guess, which he really wasn't dead.
Here's a way they could have done it. They could have had
done it
him like
differently.
at the end of Batman v Superman. They could have they could have like a fake funeral and then let him rest in the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard on and off that the black Superman suit wasn't supposed to be there and was supposed to be there. I would have loved to see it. If he would have came back with um instead of, I mean, shirtless was fine because he resurrected with nothing on. But if he would have had longer hair and a black suit, I thought that would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I mean,
but
I'm just glad we got his sense of humor kind of went up.
Oh, definitely.
He wasn't as serious as he was in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. He was more of Superman that Henry Cavill has been at all.
I think it was whenever when Steppenwolf hit him, he fell backwards and was like, he was laying on the ground. Him and Cyborg were, and he was like, "Oh, I wish I was dead. I wish I was still dead." And then Cyborg was like, "Yeah, I can't feel my toes." He's like, "I don't even have toes." And he started laughing. Like, that was an awesome line. Like, that was awesome.
That was pretty great. I really enjoyed the scene where Superman went to save the herd of civilians, and then Flash saved the civilians in the truck.
Yeah, that and their race at the end, I thought that was an awesome thing to put in the movie because that's been a question, forever. Who's faster?
I mean, here's
Obviously
it's
Flash.
a cinematic universe. Well, obviously Flash is faster, but this Flash, obviously Superman's gonna win the race because this Flash is not experienced with his abilities.
Definitely.
I mean, like him going and facing Steppenwolf is the first thing he's ever done. So obviously Superman's gonna be 10 times faster than Barry.
Yeah. And okay, I don't know if you know Steppenwolf from the comics, but I do. I know Steppenwolf from the comics. He wasn't in the comics that much. He was in the comics just a little bit, and when he was Darkseid's uncle, he's not powerful. when I heard that Steppenwolf was going to be the Justice League villain, I was like, that's a weird choice because he's not that powerful. But um, if you think about it, they had a hard time. They couldn't. I don't think they could have beat Steppenwolf without Superman. I mean, Wonder Woman would have gave him a good fight, but I don't think they could have beat him the way they were without Superman. Because think about it, when he came back, he messed up the Amazons. Like he messed them up. He messed up the Atlanteans, messed up the humans. But when you have them all together, and they're not just warriors. I mean, these are superheroes. You got Cyborg and Flash. Like I can understand they put up a good fight. But when Superman came, as soon as I saw Superman, I was like, I know before he even touches him, it's not going to be a fair fight. You know, Superman can take him any day, which I'm fine
Yeah,
with that.
definitely.
Originally, I don't know if you know this, Zack Snyder intended for Darkseid to be in the movie, and what happened was they beat Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf goes back to Apocalypse, and he sees Darkseid, and Darkseid's like, "What's you failed me. You failed me again." I think that he was supposed to kill him, and then he wants to go to Earth himself to beat Superman in the Justice League and conquer and everything.
You know, this is kind of reminding me of,
What?
not to push Marvel on this conversation, but kind of the Avengers plot. Okay, you got the first Avengers at the end. Loki Loki keeps reporting to Thanos and everything, and Loki fails, and then he loses the Tesseract and all that, and then Thanos doesn't grant him an army anymore. And in the second one, you find out that Ultron is being controlled by Thanos.
Was he?
Yep, that's where they screwed up with Ultron. Obviously, Tony Stark made him, but Ultron was being controlled by Thanos.
I didn't know that, and I really like Ultron. He's one of my favorite Marvel villains. But
Yeah, he's one of my
the movie
favorite too.
I did not honestly. I thought the movie was terrible. I know we're not talking about Marvel here, but connecting it all, Josh Whedon directed Avengers 2 with Ultron, and that's one reason I didn't like it. I don't like Josh Whedon's directing. I don't think it makes sense, and I could tell that whenever I saw Justice League. I just don't think his directing makes sense. That might just be me though.
It kind of doesn't. He puts these quirky little jokes here and there, but he doesn't know how to, like. You have Hulk fighting Iron Man out of nowhere. Like, it was a great fight. Like, not even questionable. That's literally one of the highlights of the Avengers so far is the Hulkbuster versus Hulk. I mean, that was amazing. But all of that damage and everything like that in that city that Hulk and the Hulkbuster did, and nothing has been said anything ever since. Like, as well as in Age of Ultron, they should have waited to make Ant-Man before the Age of Ultron. It's due to the fact that why would they make Iron Man make Ultron instead of Ant-Man doing it? Because Iron Man's not the type to be, okay, I'm going to make this super AI thing that's gonna destroy it, or that's gonna monitor everything. No, Ant-Man made Ultron so he can monitor the big house.
And uh, speaking of AIs and all that, what'd you think about Cyborg in the movie? Cyborg was probably it's hard because I love Superman in this movie, but Cyborg was one of my favorites. I love Cyborg in this movie, and I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought his character it was great, especially his development with him and his dad, and him having the conflict in himself. Like, am I what am I? I'm a freak, dude. I'm a machine, and trying to cope with that.
I really enjoyed. Okay, best cyborg thing. I think it happened, but he said "booyah," didn't he?
He did. But he said, "Booyah." It was more like that. He was like, "Booyah." He wasn't like
Yeah.
the Teen Titans one, which I'm fine with. Honestly, I actually hated Cyborg, the fact that he was in the Justice League until I saw this movie. I was like, why do you have Cyborg in the Justice League? Why can't you replace him with Green Lantern or Martian Manhunter? Why does it have to be Cyborg? And then I saw this movie, and I actually really enjoyed him in the Justice League. So I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
I loved it. Let's see.
Can I
So
get the
I didn't
hardware's
see it, but what was
expensive
the
meal, please? Let me see.
second end credit scene? I only saw the Flash and Superman race credit scene. I didn't see the
Oh,
second credit.
you didn't see? That's what we got to talk about, bro. The second one, it was the Injustice Society, or they didn't really come up with a name with it, but it was Lex Luthor. Of course, you know he's a boss. He broke out of prison. He's on his yacht. Looked like it was Singapore or somewhere like that. And he was just in his yacht chilling. You see Deathstroke walk up. Joe Manganiello, I think that's how you pronounce his name,
Cool.
comes in dressed up as Deathstroke. Did I say Deadpool?
No, you said Deathstroke.
Okay, for some reason I thought I said Deadpool. But he comes in as Deathstroke, walks in, and you could tell without him even doing anything, this is going to be your favorite Deathstroke. Which, you know, I love Manu Bennett, so I'm not making him compete, but this Deathstroke looked awesome. Took off his helmet. He had his white goatee and just his voice. He's like, I think he said something like, "Don't waste my time, Luthor." And Luthor's like, "Hey, the heroes, or you know, Superman, all them making a league of their own, or have made a league." So he's like, looked at him. He's like, "Why don't we make a league of our own?" And then it ends, you know. So they're setting up like, hopefully in the future, depending on where the DC extended universe goes, hopefully we see like an evil Justice League.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Kind of how like Legends of Tomorrow did their Legion of Doom. But, I mean,
it's like that. Except honestly, I love the Legion of Doom, so I hope they don't mess it up. But that was they're setting up for something. I enjoyed it.
kind of like they did in Justice League Unlimited with the Injustice League with like Joker and Lex Luthor and all of them.
Wait, you're talking about Injustice?
Yeah, the Injustice League, like from Justice League Unlimited.
Oh yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just like that.
So, what are you expecting of Suicide Squad 2? Since, like, even though that's not the next, next major DC film, obviously the next major DC film is going to be, if I'm correct, Aquaman, right?
Yes, it's gonna be
Next December is
it's
Aquaman?
yeah, it's the Aquaman's this year. And then I think Wonder Woman 2, because the Batman has been pushed back because of all the stuff going on with Ben Affleck. Either way, the next one is Aquaman, which I'm excited for because Aquaman's character, he had a really really good character who wasn't complicated. I didn't like the reshoots with him that Joss Whedon did because you could tell the difference. But still, his character, he was tough. You know, he didn't care. He was hilarious. I mean, when he was flying through the air and threw his trident and was riding on the parademons. I mean, that's an Aquaman I want to see. You know what I mean? My man. Woo! My man.
Yeah.
Dressed like a
I
bat.
can't wait. What I'm excited for that film is to see my favorite DC villain on screen.
Who?
Black Manta, bro.
Yo, Black. It's gonna be so good because they got Black Manta in it, and Black Manta is such an awesome villain. And if he joins up with like Deathstroke and Lex Luthor, dude, that's all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie, he is my favorite DC villain of like all time. Like Black Manta is my favorite DC villain. He's just cool. He's sly black suit. He's like bested the Justice League time and time again.
Dude,
he's corrupted the Teen Titans and like betraying each other many times. It's insane. He's awesome.
I'm trying to get my boy in here, a subscriber, can talk to us about it. But we talked about Flash, how he wasn't really a hero. I really liked the dynamic between him and his dad, Henry, because it wasn't like the TV show. Like in the TV show, Barry goes and sees his dad, and he, bangs on the glass, and he's breaks down crying. And this one, he kind of like doesn't really want to go see his dad. His dad's like, listen, man, you got to do something with your life. You can't dwell on me and stuff. He's like, come on, dad, and like kind of leaves. I thought that was awesome. Which a lot of people compare Ezra and Grant Gustin. I like them both. I don't want to compete.
I think they both have their ups and downs. The more thing about Grant's Flash is the way I would like it to be, which it's not, is that Ezra, I love him as a Flash character, but he'd be so much better as a Wally West Flash than a Barry Allen Flash.
Yeah, and I agree. Sadly, I think they have to. Hold on one second. I think Ezra Miller would be better as a Wally West character, except I think they have to introduce Barry Allen first, definitely. So they could have had a different actor, but I like the way they're going with it. I think you would just have to do a lot if you want to make him a Wally West type of character. Either way, I think the movie, I think he did really good in the movie. But my favorite, all-time favorite villain is Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, and he's going to be the villain of the Flash movie because they're coming out with Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool though too, because it's not going to be like Flashpoint like what we saw on the TV show. No, it's going to be legit like Flashpoint. If you've seen the animated movie,
I'm holding it up right now, bro. I'm holding it up right now. Best animated movie ever, and it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be awesome.
That film was amazing. Like that Flashpoint with Thomas Wayne, and you had Lantern. And, well, no, Lantern died. He never became Lantern, but
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Skinny Superman and Cyborg. He was working for the president directly and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So I like to focus on the good things about the movie. I mean, there were some bad, Superman's mustache. Let's not even talk about that. You just ignore it. It sucks, but just ignore it. Besides that, Wonder Woman was awesome, obviously.
I may appear to be Superman, but secretly I'm the Leaper.
What's that from?
Yeah. He's that like purple Spider-Man villain that jumps everywhere with like the Waluigi mustache.
I don't know who the heck you're talking about. Sounds like Waluigi.
Yeah, and he's like Waluigi. He has like a Waluigi mustache. Well, it's not like all squiggly and stuff. It's a straight mustache, like just like a straight two-parted mustache, and he just jumps everywhere and steals money bags from banks. His power is jumping.
Dude, one of my all-time favorite. That just made me thinking about my favorite characters, and Green Lantern is probably one of my favorite DC heroes, if not my favorite. I go back and forth. Dude, seeing the Green Lantern in Justice League made me flip out. Like I want a Justice League movie so bad, or not a Justice League movie. I want a Green Lantern movie so bad.
Here's the thing about Green Lantern. I like Jon Stewart more than I like Hal Jordan. So I want them to do Jon Stewart instead of Hal Jordan.
I hope they do both. I hope they do a Green Lantern core movie like they're planning on doing, and it has Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, all the other alien Green Lanterns. All of them are established. And
you mean like
Kilowog, Tomar, something I can't think of his other name. Sinestro, maybe a Green Lantern, maybe Yellow Lantern. The Guardians, but the movie picks up with like them bringing Hal Jordan into the Green Lantern Corps and kind of teaching him. Like you get to see Hal Jordan come into it, except the Corps has actually already been established. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey,
like,
I have
that
a
would be
question.
Awesome. Yeah.
Who do you think a good villain would be for the second Wonder Woman? Because I think Cheetah would be a way to like Cheetah would be a good villain, but it would like rush because Cheetah's not that good of a villain that you'd be able to actually make a full like good film with it. So I'm not sure who would be a good like second Wonder Woman villain because I mean they already used Wonder Woman's main villain,
Yeah,
so all they have like Cheetah. That's Cheetah and I forget what her name is, but she's kind of like Wonder Woman, the one with the blonde hair.
they could
Forget
have.
her.
Wait, say it again. Say it again. Sorry, I was thinking.
I forget what the villain for Wonder Woman. She has like the blonde hair. She was an Amazon, but she got banished or whatever. I forget that villain's name.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking of like Donna Troy. Like she wouldn't really be a villain, but it'd be cool to introduce her. Um, who's the? See, I don't read a lot of Wonder Woman comic books, just because I don't. One that would be cool is Darkseid's daughter. Perfect. Darkseid's daughter. Instead of sending Steppenwolf, um, Darkseid's daughter comes down to Earth to somehow I don't know the plot, I don't know the story, to mess with Wonder Woman. Somehow because Darkseid's daughter is actually awesome and is actually a really good like villain, especially going up against I forget her name for some reason. Darkseid's daughter, but going up against Wonder Woman, and they would be really cool if they incorporated Wonder Woman's brother, Jason, because Wonder Woman has a brother, but like something along those lines, like going around along the DC Rebirth storyline, like that would be perfect.
That would be
So
pretty cool.
so I think we covered a lot of the movie. Anything we missed?
Not really. Wasn't too much more to the film. Like
Alfred was
I like.
awesome. Jim Gordon was awesome for the little bit he was in it.
I hate to say this, but when I saw Jim Gordon, you know what I thought of as soon as I saw him.
Give me them pictures of Spider-Man. Give me them pictures of Batman.
he's a menace.
Batman, he's a menace. Yeah, I mean, I thought of that, but it was I was so into the movie that I thought it was Jim Gordon. But I liked it. I thought he did good. Um, miss anything else? I feel like we're missing something. Maybe
Nothing
not.
major.
All right. So to wrap up the movie in a few words, what would you say about it?
Getting better, DC.
Yeah, yeah. I would say kick out Joss Whedon. And
I mean, it wasn't necessarily like all his fault though. I think it was like the mixture of two directors, just
it
their
was.
style forth, kind
Yeah.
of. Because you could definitely tell when who was in charge of the scene. Like, for example, when trying to think of a good example.
Whenever Superman, okay, worst part of the movie when Superman came back from the dead, and whenever he was like in the trailer, he was like, "Ask Lois," so I take that as a yes. And she was like, "What?" He's like, "The ring," you know.
Yes.
Josh Whedon made Lois say, "How's it feel coming back from the dead?" Superman turns around, laughs, itchy. That was it. Come on, like, come on, like. I didn't hate anything really in the movie besides that in the very first opening scene with Superman. That didn't make sense. But like, come on now. All right. I think that wraps this up, though. The spoiler review for the Justice League movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. I loved it. Thought it was good. So 10 out. I would definitely go see it again. I can't wait for it comes out on Blu-ray. Complete my DC collection. So I'm excited for what they have in the future, though.
Kind of sound like General Grievous right now.
Why? What's he say?
I will take this Blu-ray to add it to my collection.
I will take it and add it to my collection. So
it's like me with the James Bond movies.
Yeah, for real. You got all of them, man. I got all the DC movies right here. Working on my collection. What? Anything you want to say before I sign out?
Well, subscribe to General. You know,
Definitely.
Good gamer.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, I got some good videos, good streams. They're usually pretty lit. You know,
Yeah.
check out his montages. Those are always lit.
Oh, definitely.
If you ever want some comedy, you can watch my streams. I kind of goof off a lot. I'm not good at any of the games I play, so I mean, you can make fun of me all you want.
Nah, so if you look at the card up in the corner, it's gonna be able to subscribe to WOTWW, and I'll have one of his videos up here, another one of my videos up here, maybe another Gamecast, and some playlists you can go check out to go find even more videos. So with that, thanks for listening, guys. If you made it this far, definitely hit subscribe. Hit the like button, comment, do whatever. I might have a poll up in the cards too, so check that out. And thanks, WOTWW, for joining me. And I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.